All right, I'm just putting the finishing touches on this clay. I've got to get on to the prayer on the wind piece, or I'll be down here working on it tomorrow on my birthday, which I don't want to do. And I got a small jackrabbit piece that I did to go with a sculpture that turned out to be too big for the sculpture. And I've got somebody that wants a copy of that too. So I've got 3 clays I'm going to take over to the Foundry on Thursday. All right, I'm going to be right back. As you can see, I've got the roll of clay in there just between the neck and the chin and the cheek. So I'm going to now round it out. I don't know how much of this you can see because I've got to angle it for me to see it, and that's going to take it out of the camera shot. But I'm doing the best I can, and that's all I can do. I'm going to have to probably turn the camera off and continue doing this. It's not an easy thing to do when you can have a hard reach here. All right, I got to fill in underneath this lapel or this flap of this jacket. And so I'm putting some clay in there. And pressing it in. Again, if it takes time to clean out the investment, and let me explain. What they do is they make a wax, let's see, a rubber mold, like say of a finger. They remove the rubber mold and there's a negative of my finger, and then they pour wax into the finger mold and they pour out the excess wax. The wax that coats the inside of the mold becomes a hollow casting of that finger. And they keep doing that until they get a certain thickness for the wall of that wax, hollow wax copy of my finger. And then they take that hollow wax and dip it into a ceramic solution. And that ceramic solution coats the inside as well as the outside of that hollow mold of a finger. I'm just using a finger as an example. And then they melt the wax out of that hollow mold and pour the bronze into the negative space left by the melted wax. And if there's any sharp crevices that need to be cleaned out of the investment, and the investment is a ceramic material. Once they melt the wax out of that ceramic material, they pour the bronze into that negative space left by the wax. I know it's confusing. It confused me for a long time until I actually watched them cast bronze. If you ever get a chance to go to a local foundry and watch them go through the casting process and take a tour of the foundry, you'll understand a lot more about what I'm just saying. But anyway, if there's a deep recess, that ceramic mold is going to be really hard to get out of there. They have to chip it and sandblast it and all that other stuff, and it takes time. And the more time they take to get the ceramic material out of that crevice or that deep cut, the more they're going to charge you for the casting of the bronze. I hope that helps to make you understand why I take so much time to fill in areas that need to be filled in. All right, I've got to take this off the revolving table here. I can't get my power screwdriver in here, so I've got to use a small Phillips screwdriver I've got to get the screw out, because the power one would obliterate my clay, removing screws the old-fashioned way. I'm going to lay him on his back so I can get underneath his chin and do any filling in I need to do. There we go. I got to move my tools out of the way. So as you can see, I've got a lot of holes that I've got to fill in, or it's going to cause problems in the casting, and it won't be clean, and I want it clean. Now you see why it pays to have that hat being able to be taken off of the sculpture, because if I had that hat on, it'd be hard to lay him down without ruining the hat. Now I'm going to put texture in with my wire tool. Now underneath his chin, you can see there's a big hole right there, and I got to fill that in too. Okay. I made a little cone shape piece of clay, and I'm going to push it into that hole with my ball tool and then press it in. That was a big hole. Now it's just a matter of cleaning up this area down there. All right, time to stand him up. No damage done to him. All right, I'm going to go ahead and paint the cross sabers to look like clay. All right, I'm just cleaning up my area here because I want to take some final pictures of this bust. And so I got my Halloween skull bowl to hold my tools while I'm doing that. All right, I just got one thing to do left to do, and that's to sign this clay, and I'm going to do that right now. It's a signature I came up with back in the 1960s when I was in high school. I thought I need to have a art signature. I'm using a fondue stick to do this signature. Put a copyright symbol. That copyright is good for the lifetime of myself and for 50 years after I'm gone. That's why you see so many reproductions of Remington bronzes. It's because his copyright ran out and nobody renewed it. So basically this clay is done and ready to go to the foundry. And I'll be doing that the day after tomorrow. Buffalo Soldier, Cold Night on the Prairie. All right, now I'm going to put the Prayer on the Wind on a turntable here and get to work on her. All right, this is a jackrabbit I did for a cowboy piece I did, and it was just a little too big for that clay, and so I put this one aside and made a smaller jackrabbit, probably about half the size of this one. But anyway, I'm going to add something to support this jackrabbit because they can't cast it in bronze with that thin of a leg. It would bend just on the weight of this part of the bronze. So I've got to have something that will support the clay, and I'm thinking of having a piece of sagebrush stick or something like that. But I'm going to have to do that tomorrow or Thursday morning early. But right now, I'm going to glue this to this wood base so that I can attach it to the turntable and also to the board in the back of the car when I take it to the foundry. There we go. And I'll put this aside. All right, this is the second clay I'm taking, or third clay that I'm taking to the foundry. Prayer on the Wind. And when I get to the foundry, I'll take this bar out so that they can make a mold of it without that in there. Putting the knuckles on. Of course, I have to blend them in. That looks good now. I'm sorry, camera's so close I can't get the whole thing in view. I got just a couple of things to do on the face and I think I'm done. Alright, I've got her face and everything ready to go. I'm gonna hit her face with some Roncinol and it'll be done. Wait a minute, I want to get that hair part just right. There you go. I'm going to go over it one more time, double check my check, and see if anything stands out that needs to be changed. I just added a little loose hair hanging down over her eye a little bit, but I've got to fill in under it, so I'm going to do that right now. All right, now I'm going to go over it with some Roncinol. This is the lighter fluid that I'm going to go over it with. Again, this just gets rid of the little nodules that build up when you're working on a clay. And sort of smooths it out just a little bit. Not a lot, but a little. It takes off the rough edge. I'm going to sign it on the base. All right, that's Prayer on the Wind. It's finished and ready to go to the foundry. I'm happy the way it turned out. And I think the bronze is going to look dynamite, especially the way I'm going to have it patinaed. One more thing, I wanted to show you that I've been trying to come up with an idea for my next clay after I get all of these other ones done. And I've been doing it on a little mannequin that you can buy online, actually on Amazon. And it's a great little tool for trying to work out design and poses and stuff like that, so you can adjust your armature to match what you come up with. I did this on another subject, and another pose I came up with a couple of days ago, and I've just been trying to work out something. This is going to be a war club and stuff like that, but I am constantly trying to come up with ideas, and some days I'm not inspired and some days I am. And when I get inspired, I work on a armature positioning using this little maquette. Let me show you. It's easy to do if you got clay and you put it on the clay. It holds it in place, and they give you a little plastic armature support for the armature, but I mean for the maquette. But I gotta tell you, that's worthless. Whoop, there she goes. Anyway, that's what I've been doing, and I'll probably be continuing to do this next week. And I will come up with an idea. Yeah, eventually. I'm going to just leave it laying down. All right, everybody. Good night, and I'll see you next time. If you like this video, please like and subscribe to my channel. It really would help me. Also, check out the link below this video. It will take you to a review of my 9 instructional videos that could be very helpful to you if you're thinking of sculpting. Good night, everybody.